Welcome back, everybody, to MMA Underground. I am Jay. That's Maddie. We have two special guests for you. We have Mustache. You might recognize him from the Markout podcast, but he's also Street Beast West Coast. And we have our boy Jordan Harrington, who's about to do his pro debut. Even though Jordan, we've seen that's been happening for a minute, so you've had some bad luck with your fight lineups.
Oh yeah, but
So
it's happening. So
we're excited, man. Thank you for coming back on. And Mustache, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man. The Mark Out podcast, Street Beefs, that kind of shit.
Well, name's Mustache. I've had about 8 fights now, Street Beast West Coast. I also host another pro wrestling podcast here on the channel. Pretty funny, great content. We're just starting out, so if you guys ever get a chance, go ahead and check that out.
To be completely honest, some of these guys might get mad at me, but Mustache, you're probably the funniest guy on the channel.
100%. I used to be that guy, and now it's just my title's gone. Like now I bring nothing. Now the British accent is all that I've got.
Hey, in the US, that carries you a long way, my man.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Yeah, pretty damn right. Do you know Prince Charles? No.
So Jordan, how excited, man? When's the fight, man? Tell everybody.
the fight is actually next Saturday, April 16th. For all of you that don't know what next Saturday is, but yeah, next week. I'm excited. I'm finally making it happen. I know I said a long time ago during the Jay Gotham fight that it was going to happen sooner, but as you said, I've had no good luck. COVID kind of messed that up, and opponents having injuries messed it up. But here it is. Yeah, I'm pumped.
So I saw on your social media you got this fire highlight reel. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That reel, that promo videos, it's dope. I was shocked how many people were actually watching it. I posted it on our local fight page. A lot of views. People were pumped. It actually made it to where a lot of people weren't going to go to my fight, but now after seeing that video, got people asking for tickets and wanting to drive all the way to the fight. So I mean, it was a sick video. I appreciate it. It was dope. I really liked it.
Well, shameless plug. Anybody you need videos, video editing, you need highlights, weddings, even funerals, as weird as that is, hit me up. One World Entertainment on Facebook. All right, I had to shamelessly plug that.
Nice.
Fucking mad, pumped up MMA style wedding video sounds fucking sick.
Like, there you go. So, yeah. And then Mustache, you had some bad luck because you were supposed to fight BLK Prime, and that all like went to shit real quick.
Yeah, it was like 1 week I was training, like going 6 rounds, and then the next day they're like, we're not sure if we're going. Then we're not going, but we're gonna have you fly to Virginia by yourself and fight this kid. And I'm like, I don't really want to go halfway across the country without my team. And then they were like, we'll come to Arizona for Street Beast West Coast. So it changed all in like a matter of 2 days what I was doing.
So is there any like thought of fighting Man in the Mirror, or is that kind of just slipped away?
I'll still do it. I'm crazy. I'll fight anybody. He looked really good, but again, he fought another tomato can. So I'll be the first real test he has. If he can beat me, he'll be on his way. But I mean, he's just fighting people who don't fight back at this point, man.
I do know you train with some monsters down at that are in Street Beefs West Coast too, so that always helps, I bet.
Oh yeah, I just had the fight in Arizona, and that's gonna drop today, probably right as this video is going on. So after this, if you want to check out my fight, it should be uploaded on the West Coast channel.
So Jordan, what's the mindset, man? You just focused, man? You already just look focused.
Yeah, I mean, it's my first rodeo for a pro fight, but I mean, I'm just gonna take this like any other fight I've ever had. I mean, you've seen what I've done as an amateur, 15-4 with 5 belts, so I'm not new to this fight thing. You know, he's just another guy in my way, and making my pro debut, I've got to prove that taking those 4 years off of fighting I didn't go anywhere. I'm coming back the same, but even better now. You know, I've got a whole different game plan. You know, everybody expects me to come into this fight as a wrestler, and I've been training with some solid dudes with my boxing: Nathan Stolen, Jay Gotham, Viking Warrior, Bobby McIntyre. You know, there's just a handful of guys that I've been training with, doing a lot of cross training just to work on my stand up. And so this guy is in for a rude awakening. Like I said, he's going to expect me being a wrestler because that's all they have on me right now is wrestling, me fighting on the ground. And so, but I'm pumped, been training super hard. You know, even when the fights got canceled, you know, I kept training almost every day as if I was having a fight the next day. And here it is now. And I'm ready. I'm ready.
Bro, editing your video, you are a monster on the ground. That is some nasty ground and pound. So if you put the boxing with it, there's some people in trouble.
Yeah, that's my
Sorry,
plan.
man.
I keep telling everybody, you know, I'm gonna try to smother the guy as much as possible. You know, I feel like I'm a lot quicker than him, a lot faster than him, and my goal is to pressure him kind of like I did Jay Gotham, keep him up against the cage, and then when he doesn't least expects it, take him down. And if I don't knock him out standing up, I'm hopefully finishing him on the ground. So.
And how's the wife feeling about you going back to fighting? Because that's what we spoke about a lot.
So the wife, she's actually really excited, which I'm shocked. I think her thing was, you know, when I was an amateur, you know, like I said, I'm 15-4 with 5 belts, and it was kind of getting to the point where I was fighting guys that weren't on my level, and all the guys that I was beating, they were going pro already, and me and my coach kind of butted heads on whether I was going to go pro or not. I thought I was ready. He felt I wasn't. I'm like, what else do I have to do to prove to you I'm ready? And, you know, of course, family got involved. You know, the wife, we ended up having 2 kids, and work got pretty busy. So it got to the point where I was just like, you know, I'm not feeling fighting anymore. My wife was so happy. She's like, you know, you're out there getting beat up for no reason. You're not making anything off of it, you know. And she's like, that's not fair. You should be able to go pro and start making money. So after the Jay Gotham fight, like I said, I pretty much made my choice. I was going decision on whether I was going back or not. And my wife's like, well, if we do this, I'm all on board as long as you go pro. And I'm going pro, and she supports me 100%. She's been cracking jokes about being my manager and stuff. And so it's cool to have my wife on my side, you know. And like I said, my kids are older now, so my kids are on my side rooting for me. My son's kind of bummed that he can't go to this fight. It's a Boise, Idaho, and I don't feel cool. Or I don't feel cool. I just kind of rough taking 2 kids on an airplane and then having them sit for hours before the fight starts, you know. And so my kids get to miss this one, but I'm gonna have my wife there with me, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's always important to get your whole family on side with this kind of thing. It's such a fucking massive commitment what you've got to go through. And I last time we spoke, I was feeling a bit sorry for your wife. But when you say, hey, I'll be totally behind you, just don't get your head kicked in for no fucking reason. Go get fucking paid. She should be your manager. That is,
yeah. I mean, I said it from day one. She's a smart woman. She deals with money every day at work. She's the company's accountant. I mean, super smart woman. Like, she's amazing. And I'm like, yo, I want you to deal with my money. You're my manager. Like, you're my accountant. And so, no, like, we've got plans. We're gonna see how far I can take this fighting thing. You know, I'm hoping to go far. I'm 31 years old. I feel like I still got a lot in the tank, and it's gonna be my wife going all the way. I mean, besides my coach, he'll always be with me, but things tend to go a different way. My wife's gonna be there with me all the way, and like I said, that's my number one supporter. So got to keep her beside me.
Yeah, and Mustache, are you thinking of going pro anytime soon? 8 fights?
No. And look, like, I started Street Beefs just because a friend actually was talking to me about this last night. There's points where you want to start something, but people they overthink it, and they just live their lives and they regret not having that opportunity. And I was just like, man, I've always wanted to fight in the cage. I've always wanted to do it. And never had the funds for a gym or anything. So I saw Street Beefs as the perfect opportunity to learn with people like me. And I just fell in love with it. But I don't think pro is in the cards right now. I'm more focused on school and everything.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of stuff, having to focus on school. It's fucking annoying though, right? Like, like you know it's the right thing to do, but it still takes the piss. Like, it's really annoying. What about, and Mustache, what I kind of wanted to talk to you about was the idea of a Street Beefs WWE style thing. Would you like to be the face of that?
You know, there are a couple guys that would do that, but see, MMA's like, we all have knowledge and we could put together and we could do a backyard. I don't think anybody really has a pro wrestling knowledge. So people will get hurt. That's just what's gonna happen. And then we wouldn't know what we were doing. But if KT goes to school and kind of like teaches us, that would be cool too. You know, I always wanted to be a pro wrestler. That's been in my back pocket too, but I chose the MMA route. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that as well.
Are you talking Prince KT?
Yeah, he's
So anybody who didn't know who you were talking about that follows Street Beefs will know who Prince KT is.
Yeah, Prince KT just had a fight for the championship or People's Championship. Loves pro wrestling. Getting into it now. He's actually, I think he's taking classes, learning how to talk, all that stuff. So he's gonna be the one that might cross over into that department for us.
So what's next, Mustache? You just had a fight. What you know what's next? Or are you just waiting for the next Street Beefs event, or how's that gonna go?
Well, this fight here, it's being reviewed because and it's gonna come out now, but it was a pretty close boxing match. I think boxing, besides fighting Man in the Mirror, I think boxing is gonna be on the back burner, and I want to go back to what I love, and I want to do the style. Like, I've been trying to strike in my last couple fights, and I'm not the greatest striker. I want to go back to just solid wrestling, and for that I need a lot of conditioning because I wrestled for 5 years, and wrestling's always been my bread and butter. So I need to really take this seriously and maybe make a run at the title. But at this point, I don't know. But I would love a match for the People's Championship.
Do you ever worry about getting injured doing MMA in the dirt?
You know, a lot of people talk about that. I never gave a crap either way or another. I mean, you can wear knee pads, you can wear a long sleeve shirt, you can pretty much cover your whole self up if you wanted to. So I don't know if the dirt doesn't bother me really, other than the eyes. But I don't plan on being on my back getting sand in my eyes, so that's not a problem for me.
It's just this idea of like what you were saying about overthinking it. Like, don't overthink it. You're not good enough yet to overthink shit like getting hurt in the dirt and stuff like that. But would you like to go up and try out the facilities up at the scrapyard? That's one of the things that we seem to talk about a lot, and it's kind of like scrapyard seems to put an emphasis on quality of everything. Like, it's not as just like backyards getting in the dirt and having a fight in a tiny ring like the West Coast does in a small ring.
Yeah, well, I think in terms of quality, we are neck and neck. Like West Coast, I believe, probably has better like overall fighters, but I think some of the best fighters are in Scrapyard. But we're so neck and neck, so I think that Scrapyard invasion has to happen to really see who's down. Because when we went to the OG yard, man, we really surprised a lot of people in their backyard, and we made some good fights out of people that were supposed to walk through us. So
everybody wants to see the Terrifier versus Nasty Native. Everybody.
That's not going to go well for the Terrifier, bro.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on the Nasty Native, but you do know the Terrifier was one of the top wrestlers in high school in Wisconsin, right?
And Nasty Native had a college did a little bit of college too. I
That's
mean,
why I think it'll be great. That's what I think. But I get your West Coast, you know him. I'm probably a little more biased because I have a relationship with Terrifier and we're from the same state. But those two together, I said people better worry about the cage more than they worry about the two men.
he's Terrifier is great. He's probably the best wrestler or one of the best wrestlers in Street Beefs, if not the best. But the hands of Nasty Native. There's just a gap there. If Nasty Native can stop a takedown, which I know he can, it's not going to be good in the stand-up department for Terrifier.
It's those style make fights thing, right? So I think that'll be a good one. And Jordan, you ever train with the Terrifier? Because I know you bounce around.
So I've never trained with the Terrifier. I'd like to. I mean, I think he's a cool cat. I've watched him quite a bit, and me being a wrestler myself and coaching high school wrestling for 9 years, I mean, I think he's a beast of a wrestler. But being where I'm at, I kind of see his flaws as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he's going against stand-up fighters, you know, just like Jay's fight with him, you know, Jay easily could have beat him if he would have stayed up, but Jay made a dumb mistake by trying to take the big ass dude down.
Exactly.
I got so confused. I'm watching that fight. Terrifier's boxing where he should be trying for the takedown.
Yeah,
Jay
and it
got
was
him
vice
away by
versa.
80 and tries to take him down. I was like, that was so backwards.
Yeah, so I got on Jay when I saw him after that fight. I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? He's like, oh, you know, wrestling with you and Shiloh, I thought I could do it. I was like, we're not Terrifier. We're smaller than Terrifier, my guy. I was like, that was stupid. If you would have just used your reach to advantage and kept him away from you, you would have won. And with Terrifier, another thing, you know, me being a wrestler, I noticed when he shoots with his head down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if he goes against somebody that's really smart, uppercuts there all day, you know, and then I know he's got a fight coming up the same day as me, but in Olympia for a local trainer that I train with named Eddie Ellis. And I hope he does good, but there's a lot of good fighters that are coming to this fight. I'm not quite sure who he's fighting, but I guarantee it's going to be a good fighter. And I wish Terrifier nothing but the best, but going from Street Beefs to real MMA, not saying Street Beefs is fake, but just the comparisons, you know, these guys are trained.
Mm-hmm.
Street Beefs more of guys they're training, but not like we are.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that it's not going to go too good for Terrifier.
He FaceTimed me.
Say that one more time.
He FaceTimed me after the Jay Gotham fight, and Jay blackened his eye.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that, well, see, my fight's next week, but after this fight, if Terrifier decides to stick with actual cage fighting and leave Street Beefs, I eventually want to work with him. And I mean, I felt we both can learn something from each other, you know, but I think he's got what it takes. It's just, I feel like he, going into this new scene is going to be a tough one for him. And it's going to wake him up a little bit and make him realize he's got a lot more to work with than just being this big, brute, scary man. And I think that's what the problem is with Street Beefs right now is everybody's so intimidated by him because he is a big fucker. You know, excuse my language.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of people are hesitant to go in there and start banging with him because of how big he is. And as little as I am, I mean, I guarantee once he grabs me, he kicked my ass. But I feel like me being a wrestler, I mean, us wrestlers, we're built different. Like, we're not scared of a whole lot. We're like bulldogs, you know. I'm going to go in swinging. And I try to tell a lot of people that, you know, just because they're big and they look scary don't mean they're that scary. You just got to use what you're good at and you can win. But as far as Terrifier, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope we get to work together soon. And like I said, if he does decide to go to go into the MMA world, I'd love to roll around with him and get to learn some stuff and hopefully teach him, you know, seeing that I'm older and, you know, been in it for a long time. I've been in MMA since I was 19. Like I said, I'm 31 now. Try to help him out and go from there. But
well,
yeah.
One more question about your training. So I know you train with Shiloh all the time, Preacher Son, who's a straight killer. But when you go over and train with Coach TC, what's that like?
TC as in Thomas?
Yeah.
So I haven't been there for a while. I think I'm going on like 3 months. It's been really good. You know, when I train with Jay, Crazy Legs, Dre, Meek, it's awesome. You know, because Meek, you know, him being a Muay Thai fighter, he's definitely helped me with my stand-up game and made me, because I'm not a big fan of kicking. I hate kicking because I don't have the biggest ankles in the world. And Meek has taught me a lot of stuff. And then, you know, just biking, you know, with his boxing, that dude's so crisp with his hands that he's taught me a lot with my hands. And so going into TC's gym or Thomas's gym, it's definitely boosted my confidence and my stand-up game, my kicking. They're all tough dudes. And, you know, I miss working with them, but with work and trying to find time to train, it kind of gets rough driving up there every day. But as soon as this fight's over, I definitely plan on being back up there to put in more work. You know, I feel like when I was up there too, a lot of those guys were learning a lot from me as far as wrestling. And I mean, look at Scotty, Showtime. He came in a few times and we rolled around and I gave him some pointers. And I feel like one of his last fight, his wrestling was a lot cleaner and he was able to slow down and pay attention to what he was doing instead of just blowing his load and slipping off people. Like he actually timed everything. And so like I said, I'm hoping after this fight we can get back in there and all of us can work together and go from there.
So, Mustache, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to get out the way for Buddy and Maddie. Who do you train with? Throw some names out there, because I know some of the guys you train with, but like people, I don't think people understand who you're training with out there.
So I train with WA, who is the Masters Division champ. If you've seen WA, that man's a killer Muay Thai guy. We got Free Smoke, also another killer Muay Thai guy.
We love Free Smoke, yeah.
Yeah, man, that guy's a beast, man, and he's transitioning into MMA well. We just did a couple rounds sparring yesterday, and he was shooting doubles on me and trying to take me down. He's got a good shot, so he's gonna be one to watch out for in MMA. And then we got Battleborn. He's just a killer. See, the thing about that I kind of envy is a lot of my guys are really good strikers, which is great because I want to improve my striking. But I'm pretty much the only grappler on my side. And people are always asking me for takedowns, but I still want to expand my learning. So I need to go work with some guys that know they're grappling a little bit more. But yeah, those are the guys right now actively that are training with me, and they're monsters, man.
Oh yeah, and you stay hungry too. I've seen some of those fights you're coming out, especially with No Love. You're putting that work, and you just had a fight with Blanco drop. I just saw too.
Yeah, it should be up now. I guess. Yeah, that I love testing myself, man. For me, people are always like, "Man, why are you taking boxing fights? You know, you're a wrestler. What's wrong with you?" And to me, it's just like it's street beefs. It's learning. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna learn how to throw hands, and you're gonna be in a war. Like, what's the big deal? It's never been a problem for me.
And it's just the wanting to fucking fight with people. Like, so some people like want to use it to get into pro and all that kind of stuff. Some people, like what I'm understanding from yourself, like it's about learning how to be a better fighter and that kind of thing. And some people just want to go in there and throw hands, as far as I'm concerned. From what I saw of Terrifier in his first fight and people like Nasty Native and things like that, I genuinely think they just wanted to go in there and throw hands and then kind of realize that they were really fucking good at it. Yeah, but I from what I'm getting a lot from Street Beefs is we're kind of getting these super gyms coming together where a lot of the same fighters are all working with each other and making themselves a lot better, and you're both seeming to be part of these super gyms. And Ron Lampman, Jordan, has asked you to go train with him. He said, come and train with us. And that's him, Nerd Rage, and Terrifier. You've been invited to a new fight.
So I was curious, if you fight at 155, what is your walk around weight? Because you look like you pack some muscle. I'm curious.
Yeah, dude, you're jacked. What the
Are
hell?
you talking to me?
Yeah.
So I walk around at 195. Yeah. I walk around at 195. To be honest with you guys, I actually started cutting weight right after Jay Godham's fight with me from 195, and this honestly has been the easiest cut that I've had. Like I'm to this day, like I'm down at 163 right now, and I'm still able to eat. I'm still able to drink my water. Like yesterday, I went and sat in the sauna for, I want to say, at least an hour and a half. Went and lifted weights, and then I came home, checked my weight. I was down to 162 last night. Was able to eat a dinner, but like, with cutting weight before, that was another reason why I walked away from fighting, because we had a disagreement about that. Because I originally wanted to fight at 170, but my coach believes because I'm only 5'10", those bigger guys, the guys that are cutting from like Shiloh, they're all tall guys. They're all big guys. But if you look at me, like the guys I train with, Jay Gotham, Shiloh, other guys that I've trained with have all been taller than me and bigger than me, and I still go rounds with them. And me being short and a lot quicker, I feel like I have that advantage, and I'm able to just dominate. And I've told my coach that, I was like, if you come to these other gyms and watch what I do, you'd understand why I want to go 70. And, so we've butted heads about that. So I'm hoping after this fight, I can convince him to let me go up to 170, because being 31 now and trying to cut weight is not like it was when I was in my 20s. It sucks.
It still sucks.
Yeah, it still sucks, but I'm being smarter about it now. Now that I'm on the pro level, I'm trying to be smarter about it. Thomas is giving me a new diet to work with. And so I've been on that diet, and now that I've brought I'm on that diet, I've actually been able to bring it home. So me, my wife, my kids, like we're all eating healthier, to where back in the day, I used to eat a cheeseburger while cutting weight.
Yeah.
I was a pig, and everybody's like, how do you eat the way you eat and still stay in good shape? But like, I like to push myself. Like, I like to be in shape. And if you look at my dad's side of the family, we're all in shape. And so it's kind of hard for me to lose that. But yeah, 195 down to 55, everybody's like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Why are you doing that? And I'm like, I've been doing it since I was 19 years old. I mean, it's kind of easy. It sucks, but it's easy now. But my plans are after this fight to hopefully go up to 170. That way I'm not cutting into my muscle. Cause I mean, you look at me, I don't have a lot of fat on me. I walk around maybe 10% body fat. So after I get out of the 70s, I'm cutting into muscle now. And so that's my plan. Cause when I get down to 55, I guarantee I'm not going to look like this. I mean, I'm going to be skin and bone. I'm going to look like one of these Aberdeen junkies around here. So
that's great. I walk at like 160 to 165, and I fight at 155. I'm trying to drop to like 140, but that food, man, it kills me. I'm like, oh.
And that's my problem. My wife's Hispanic, and whew, boy, her and her family can cook, and I'm sitting there just drooling the whole time.
Right. What's up, Free Smoke?
Yeah. And there's obviously
shout out Free Smoke.
There's obviously the massive issue of the fact that your kids are on this diet by the sounds of it. So what, you're trying to get your kids to cut at this young age so that they used to have your kids fighting at like 35.
Well, the main reason why I want my kids on this diet is because during COVID, like my son, he's a pretty athletic kid, but COVID kicked my son's ass. Like my son gained a lot.
Oh no.
Oh, cut out.
Oh no. I always like to hear somebody ripping on their son.
You're young. Like, I want you to put on some, get skinny, because he plays soccer. He wants to wrestle. He wants to play football. And I mean, the kid moves for how big he is, but I felt like, me being who I am, and, I know my son, he's just like me. He's a competitive kid. He likes to push himself. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And I just want him to be healthy while doing it.
Yeah. When you play football, soccer, you want to be really, really lean as well, because like the whole idea is to be agile. Like if you're playing football, your guys' football, then you want to be jacked. Yeah, you want to be jacked as shit. But if you want to play soccer, then you want to be pretty lean and stuff like that. And I'm guessing I know somebody who would like to know more about the diet that you're on, Jordan, and any cutting or dieting you're doing, Mustache. and that's our boy Cuzzo over at Overtime Hustling. I'm sure he would like to put that on there.
What up, y'all? This your boy Cuzzo, host of the Chronicles podcast, and also the host of Overtime Reactions. And let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all make sure to go check out Yankee and the Brit Sports Talk. Them guys are knowledgeable. They have good content. Go support them, man. Go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and definitely tune in to MMA Underground Weekly, man, where they have guests, great commentary, let you know about upcoming events, promotional material, all that, man. Go check them out. Yankee and the Brit, what up? Salute from your boy Cuzzo. Holla.
Hey.
That was meant to be a fucking ad for him. I need to put that out there every time we do that. It still makes me uncomfortable every fucking time.
Yeah, come on to Rome. What about Uncle's restaurant? Put on some weight. Yeah. So I'll let it leak now because we're having a fun time and everyone's here. But Zoella has a specialty for fighters, since Mustache and Showtime, we're talking about weight cutting, this and that, is having a lot of the food and diets. It's hard to get flavor. So on my birthday, May 24th, you will see a new hot sauce coming out, a green and a red hot sauce. Oh,
Nice.
I'm a hot sauce fan. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, all right, yeah. See? You have to go to the scrapyard one of these times. I'll bring some for tasters for everybody. Yeah.
Low-cal hot sauce. That's a new invention right there.
To learn more about Mustache and get a shameless plug-in, so Mustache, being that you do the pro wrestling podcast, the Mark Out podcast, what's that been like for you now that you've been doing a few episodes and you and Dustin having a blast? You guys have me laughing and I don't even know shit about wrestling.
That podcast, it can get off the rails sometimes. We go into deep things that you should never know about pro wrestling, but it's fun, man. I felt like the Street Beefs has just opened up so many doors to things I wanted to do. I've always wanted to do a wrestling podcast. I did that. I've always wanted to fight in the cage. Always wanted to have a boxing match, and now it's coming true. So I'm just gonna keep following this, man, and see what comes next. It's awesome, dude.
Heck yeah.
And buddy, since we're talking about podcasts, what do you got coming up on your YouTube page? Sorry, I was reading a comment while trying to talk to you. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a new series getting released too this Sunday. So now it's not just interviews from Scrapyard Fighters, but all sorts of people. Today I actually met with somebody who cosplays. She has a dope one. I met with a Native American activist, a couple other people. A famous glass blower who's up and coming and teaches other people as well. So I mean, it's all sorts of local up and comers. And yeah, we get to get a little bit more in depth with them too, and see a little bit of what they do and their lifestyle. So I mean, if everyone likes to check stuff out, nothing's gonna be crazy long too. So it's kind of quick snippets, straight to the point. You guys might enjoy it. You might find yourselves on there. You never know.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's
We're gonna
nice
go around the horn here, quick. So Maddie does another podcast that's called the Travel Story Society.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit about it, Maddie, because we're pitching the shit out of some stuff right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that it's nice that you guys get to interview really cool people. I interview really pretentious traveling people like myself, who just talk about the amazing travel adventures that we go on all the time, which is real fun. No, they're not. They're absolutely fucking brilliant. Talk to people from all over the world about all their different travel stories and stuff like that. New season is meant to be coming out about 3 months ago, but it's coming out next month because I finally got some time off school to edit them all together. And then I'm doing a travel show on here where it's just me talking about some travel-y bullshit as well. And that's something that I've really enjoyed talking to MMA fighters about. And just to bring it back to the point, what I've really enjoyed talking to MMA fighters about is their travel routines. And I was just thinking when you were talking about having to go up to Boise in Idaho, Jordan, about why the fuck would you bring your kids to that? Like, surely you're going up there with the headspace of, I'm going to get the shit. I'm going to get punched pretty fucking hard. Like, at some point, I could do without having to deal with my kids crying on a fucking plane.
So my kids are pretty solid kids. I mean, my son was in the gym with me when I was an amateur. My son's been around it. You know, he's watched me through football, MMA. I mean, so my kid's seen it. My daughter, she's just a savage. So I'll come over with a black eye and she's like, "Oh, Dad, you got beat up today?" Yeah. So my kids are used to it. Like, I mean, we roughhouse in the house. Our kids, we wrestle. So my kids are used to it. And so I know I wouldn't have an issue with them. And my son's 9 now, my daughter's 4. And so when we travel a lot anyways. And so my kids are pretty solid on an airplane. And I mean, my son's first MMA show, he was 1 year old and just sat there chill. And so I'm not worried about my kids going. And honestly, with my kids there, like I'm a big family man. Like I grew up with a pretty crappy family and we don't talk now. And so this is my family. Like I said, they're my number one supporters. And so I enjoy having them in my corner. And so, I mean, thankfully I get to have my wife there. You know, I wish I could have my kids there, but because it was last minute, you know, we bought the plane tickets, everything kept getting changed. We kind of had to make the choice on whether we were going to take them or not. And we're just like, oh, they can stay home this time. And next show, you know, hopefully it's a local show. We can bring them to that. So I am a little bummed about that because I'm feeling like I'm missing my crew. But, you know, like I said, I've got my wife, which is awesome. I'm going to have my coach who's been with me, like I said, since I was 19, who's like a brother to me. Shiloh actually is going to be there. He's fighting on the card, by the way.
Nice.
So I have my boy Shiloh there, preacher's son. He'll be there. So, like I said, it sucks not having my little ones there because it would mean the world to me to have them there. But it is what it is. Like I said, I've got enough people there that are going to support me, and next time they'll be able to go. So,
heck
Plus,
yeah.
now you get a romantic
Jordan.
weekend away in Boise with the wife.
unfortunately,
Paris,
no.
the Paris of Idaho. No, is that not
Unfortunately, I don't. Coach is going to be sharing a room with me and my wife. Yeah, so that's not happening. I mean, we might have to sneak away. I don't know. There is a bathroom or something. We'll figure it out.
Hey, Coach, congrats. I bought you a movie ticket for one. Here you go.
Yeah.
What romantic weekend isn't complete with getting in a fight during the middle of it, you know? But just
Right.
it's normally with the person you go with, not with some other dude in a cage. But you know, that's totally fine.
I was gonna say, Mustache, do you have any kids?
No kids, nothing like that. For me. Allegedly, unknowingly, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked myself up, so I don't know.
Jordan, shout out your social media though, so that if sponsors or whatever want to sponsor you, shout out your social media so people can find you.
My social media. So if you want to look me up, it's Tango MMA 22 on Instagram, and Facebook. It's Jordan Harrington. If you can't find me on that, you can find me on Facebook under Bad Company MMA. And yeah.
So what's that stuff from Rogan you keep pitching?
I'm trying to get sponsored by Joe Rogan. So he's got this really good energy drink because a lot of people know I love energy drinks. I have a big sweet tooth. Candy and energy drinks are my go-to. And I can drink like 6 cans of Monsters in one day. But when I found out, yeah, it's bad. Oh, thank you. But I saw Joe Rogan's Kill Cliff energy drink, and it's a natural energy drink. It's got ginger in it. It's just got pretty much all the healthy stuff you need. It doesn't have all the nasty sugars and all that. And honestly, I've been drinking it for about 4 months, and I feel way better than I have when I've drank energy drinks. Like I get up in the morning, crack one open, feel amazing throughout the whole day. I don't get that crash. I drink one before practice. Don't get the stomach ache. Really good stuff. So I advise everybody to try it out. And for you potheads, he's also got some that are CBD flavor. They've got CBD in them. So
that was in my alley right there.
But he's got it's a really good drink. I advise everybody just to try it once. I actually have to order mine here soon. You can actually do a monthly subscription where they send you a 24 case every month. So yeah, I advise everybody to check it out. Well, but I am trying to get sponsored.
He's got all that Spotify
Mustache,
shit.
I tell you to shout out your social media, but as far as I know, you're not that kind of guy.
Who, me or Buddy B?
No, Mustache.
More like you don't want people following you.
No. You can follow me on Instagram. Gonna start to make it more fight oriented, but it's gonna be Grandmaster D, all lowercase, 2 D's and Grandmaster D on Instagram.
All right, yeah, because we really appreciate you guys, but we won't take up your whole day. So if anybody's got any more questions, let's hit them with them quick and let these guys get out of here.
Sorry, like I said, physical difficulty, you guys. So I was more prepared, but my timing kind of screwed up for you two. I apologize, both Jordan and Mustache. My bad.
I actually lied about my Instagram, by the way. It is not Tango MMA. It's Showtime MMA. Showtime MMA.
Man.
Liar! Ooh.
Yeah, Showtime MMA 22.
Man. They can only afford one shout out, man. What are you doing, dude?
that was my bad. I just remembered I had to
there you go.
I just remembered I had to make a new MMA.
That's the one. No, that's all the questions that I think we've got. So you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you around. We'll definitely talk to you soon.
And make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7. Tune in for the Mark Out podcast because you really got to hear what Mustache has to say. Hashtag she's been a slut for years. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta go watch that shit, man.
Tune it in, absolutely.
All right, guys. Jordan, I can't wait to see what happens with your fight. I'm very excited. Mustache, I'm going to watch your fight soon as we get off of here. Thank you both for putting in the work to entertain the rest of us. I know you do it a lot for yourselves, but it means so much to the rest of us that we get to like watch you guys put in the work and then see what it turns into. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys. And Jay, again, I appreciate the video.
That was dope.
No problem, man. I enjoy doing it. You're a beast, bro. Your ground and pound is scary.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, get out my weight class. Get up higher.
I'm trying.
All right, see you later, guys.
All right,
thank you guys.
Peace out.
That is. How do you do?
Heck yeah. That was dope. Man.
We did 2 with 2 of the most chatty people we've ever had.
Wait, and they're great. I love both of those guys. I talk to Jordan on Facebook, like weekly probably, we chat. But Mustache I get to talk to once a week before we record. So that he is so funny and it's this dry humor. So you guys even if you're not wrestling fans, just check that out for a minute because he had me dying. I'm doing the background stuff and he was like, yeah, but she's been a slut since the beginning or whatever. And I'm just like, hashtag been a slut. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
He's got the British sense of humor down, that dry, sarcastic
he does.
shit.
He does.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the Brit in that show. Yeah, he represents the brand well.
So, buddy, I just rewatched your fight last night, your last one.
With Dexus, yeah.
Holy shit, did I forget how fast you choke him out?
Right? It's like, oh shit, I got 30 seconds. I mean, that's one of my faster fights. I'm like, yeah, that's the way to end it.
So you fight at the next event?
I was thinking about it. I was trying to fight at this last event. My opponent showed up. He wasn't really feeling up to it, said he wished he could have trained more. So he said no. I got offered a second guy who was down to fight, that he said no. And then my third opponent was like, he already won a match earlier, said he might fight another match. And when he found out he was fighting me, he's like, I don't want to fight anymore. So I got turned down a couple of times. So I get bragging rights for a month. Like, people don't want to fight me after my last fight. Yeah, but I'm trying to. I've been trying to run, and just life's been hitting kind of hard. And that's like one of the things being a street beast fighter is because we're not getting paid to do this, and we have a lot of other stuff going on. Sometimes life can get in the way. But I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get in that cage this month. I want to fight. So,
and for those who don't know it, I posted it on Yankee and the Brit, but Buddy's interview with Overtime Hustling dropped in the magazine, the newest edition. You can buy the magazine. You can check that out on Yankee and the Brit. You can get it. I know they have digital copies, but I suggest you go over to overtimehustling.com and check it out because they got a ton of gear, a ton of music, interviews, magazines. Just go check them out because you seeing it will do you more than me telling you.
oh yeah, and I mean it's the growth too, because like the interviews they have, I mean everyone's on the rise for whatever they're doing. Viking Warrior with this fighting career is going in a completely different way, but it's going straight up. Me with my brand is going a different way, but it's going straight up. You guys with all your podcasts, it's different from what we're doing, but it's going straight up. Everybody just keeps growing, and it's like when you check it out, you really get the opportunity to see in the beginning stages. So that way, when you see those thousands of viewers and stuff like that, you could sit there and say, "Oh, well, I knew when they only had X amount."
I got behind the scrap yard. I think it was 4 or 5 months after they started. So we feel like we've got to watch. I mean, I watched you literally fight in a ring that was floaty noodles, right? That's what they were.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, so that's how far we've been following. It's great to just see, I mean, how much better fighters have gotten in that time, how the production, the ring. And then, if you go back to the OG yard, back to Satan's backyard or whatever, they were all just beef fights. Now the production's getting better. They've got a cage. Street Beefs West Coast has guys who are making moves, who are going to, fight at different levels of MMA and different combat sports. It's really been a really cool roller coaster ride watching everything that's going on and all the people who, because your brand is growing, our brand is growing. It's all because of the support of everybody else, though, and that's just an amazing thing with this community.
Oh yeah, I mean the love is it's really all there, and it's like people say, I heard a Savage Island from West Coast. I actually messaged him one time because he said you're either supporting, hating, or spectating, one of the three. And I was just like, that's so true. Because like, yeah, you have family say they love you. Are they sharing your shit? Or like friends even too? Like, are they buying your stuff? So no, they're not supporting. Well, then they're spectating. They're just spectating. Are they speaking ill about your name? Because then they're hating. And it's like, I'm not saying that to like anyone in particular, but it's just me off guard. And it was, whoa. And so yeah, straight from the West Coast, Savage Island. Shout out. I had a quick question for you, Maddie. So right there, we were talking about the Patty the Batty, but you weren't on one of the shows, and we were talking about how when people come from certain parts like Liverpool, they call themselves specific names. Scouser. This has been eating at. Did you know?
He calls himself a Scouser.
Scouser.
Yes. What is that?
It's just somebody from Liverpool. It basically means like it started off as like a derogatory way to call somebody from Liverpool like poor and like a criminal, because it's like a famous industrial city. Like it grew. I'm teaching this to my kids in a minute. It grew like 750% or something like that between the years 1801 and 1901, and everybody was working in factories, and then everybody gets fucking laid off, so then they become criminals. And basically a Scouser is somebody who like steals car tires and shit like that. But the people of Liverpool just went, well, fuck you, we're gonna own it. And now they just call themselves Scousers. And I think it refers to somebody who supports the Liverpool football team a lot as well. So Newcastle, if you're from Newcastle, you're a Geordie. If you're from Sunderland, where my family's from, you're a Mackham. If you're from Cardiff, you're a Taff, because that's the name of the river that runs through Cardiff. Like, so everybody has like their own shit.
Well, another thing he said, he was talking about one of his training partners, and he said it in a loving, joking way. But he said, "Yeah, I train with that Cockney fuck all the time."
West London. No, East London.
Okay. East London. That's just another name for somebody.
Yeah. Cockney, East London. Peaky Blinders and shit.
Yeah, I love Peaky Blinders, but like not all of
Cockney.
that registers to me when they say it. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
that's Cockney. So like I'm going, and then they have like Cockney rhyming slang. So like I'm going up the apples and pears. That means I'm going upstairs.
Bees and honey or Barney Rubble for trouble, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that shit. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
all of that.
Bees and honey
Within
for
London,
money and Barney Rubble for trouble. And yeah, I get a little bit of it. Yeah.
yeah, Cynthia used to live in East London, so I used to get off the tube station at Bethnal Green and just hear like Cockney accents just absolutely fucking everywhere. It was insane. It's like, wow, this is really weird. This is so fucking uncomfortable. But it's really closely linked to Australian because Australians, it's a convict colony, is what we used to call it, where you send criminals, and a lot of the criminals were from East London. So a lot of the people that got deployed were from East London. So the Aussie accent and the East London accent are very closely linked because of that. Because like all the like criminals got sent to. Oh God. Oh fuck. The British Empire is really fucked up, guys. It's horrible. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's the historian kicks in. Ah shit.
Right. Like you never know what you're gonna learn over here on MMA Underground.
Yeah, that was a weird thing for this.
Hey,
podcast.
we're an educational program, bro. Educational.
Teachers on this show, man. I'm using this as part of my degree qualification instead. I'm not going to teach kids anymore. I'm just going to teach you guys about the UK instead. That'll be it.
Yeah,
Right.
we like learning about slang and Cockney and Scousers or however you say it.
Yeah,
Right. And it's like people you talk about, we don't have a proper education. They're like, oh no, I was properly brought up. I wasn't raised in America. I'm like, oh, ow.
Fucking hell. And then that's how Street Beef's UK started. It's just that. It's just like just people just calling out the US.
I've been talking with the guy who's getting that running. So once he knows more about it, he's going to come on.
Cool.
They're just trying to find a place right now. That's all they're doing is trying to find a place to host it, but everything else is in place for them.
Can you send me his details? Because I'll get in contact with him, and whenever their first event is, I'll go down and
yeah, and you'll love him because he's a big footy guy.
Oh, cool. I like in the UK, we all are really.
Yeah, but he still plays footy and shit too. So like,
Sunday league. Yeah, nice bit of Sunday league. Good old times.
Hey.
But I'll go down and see what's what. Obviously, not scrapping.
Yeah.
I don't want any. I don't want any part of that shit. I don't want any part of that shit. But
no smoke for Maddie. No smoke for Maddie.
No smoke.
There's that movie where the teacher gets into MMA fighting to help save another teacher.
Yeah. Alternatively, I think I could go down there and look like the nerdiest fucker ever and would get my ass kicked, is how I would see it going. But yeah, I'm very excited about UK Street Beefs. It's a very exciting prospect. What is another very exciting prospect, just to go back to some of our scheduled programming for the time being, is Buddy V's Fight of the Week. So, have we got that?
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
Now, this one, I don't think I've brought him up before. I just work closely with him, but was the fighter who is back and forth as a fighter. He's a win and a loss, but I really like his style is Monkey, because I brought up that I was doing a collaboration with him once before. So his gear's out, merchandise is out, it's about to be on my website, which is pretty killer. But I like his style. He's very relaxed. I've even seen the comments on some of his YouTube videos where they talk about the drunken monkey style or drunken master style. He's very laid back. I never thought he could kick that high with ease. He just like sits there and whoop, and all of a sudden he's doing the splits damn near in his head. His foot's at your head, and I was just very impressed because a lot of people, I could feel the sturdiness, the strength, and he's just so loosey goosey the whole way he fights. Even when he's getting pinged in the head a couple times when he fought, I think Dill Pickle, he's getting hit and he's still just loose, just whoa, rolling with it. And a lot of people when they hit that, I could see their body starts to shut down. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see his improvement and his growth. And I know it's like he wears the brand Yoko and he's trying to get sponsored by them. So you never know. because I know he wants to come for that 145 MMA belt, and I want to drop to 145. So we might fight one day in the future. You might see it. If he gets that belt, I'm going to take it. Or if I get the belt, he might try to take it. And the second one was from Inland Empire. I brought him up last time. Darkness. His fight just dropped. Like I said, I really like those fighters. He's coming out. He's putting on one hell of a show. I definitely think he's one to watch. He's going to start coming out and whooping some ass. I can't say Mustache because I already brought him up before. I know I have. So sorry, Mustache. If you're still watching, you got it once before. You would have been second pick, but I don't play favorites.
Well, I will say about Monkey, I'm a fan of his on social media. I share all of his stuff to the Yankee and the Brit, like his clothes and stuff to the Underground group. So check out his stuff. And I've never met him, but he seems like a great dude too.
Yeah, I forgot where he's from. He's from a whole nother state, though. I think it's like Central Time, so somewhere over there.
Also, you guys, because we're shamelessly pitching, this Friday on Real Talk with Jay, I sit down with comedian, musician Lonnie Dangerous for a second time. I had to bring him back. It's an hour because there was a lot of, let's say, stuff going on in the world that we needed to talk about. It is absolutely hilarious. I laughed for a whole hour. And then, not this Friday, but next Friday, I got interview with Lucy Angeles, which is a hip-hop artist out of L.A., but this dude grew up with Trey D from the East Siders and Snoop Dogg, so you might not want to miss that interview either.
That sounds fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's hear about some Zuel before we get out of here, buddy.
Yeah, man, sorry. I usually have a lot more prepared to talk about, too. So, like I said, with the internet connections, they kind of mess with some stuff. But with Zuel, we have the brand. Obviously, I have my interview with Overtime Hustling Magazine, first feature. Go check it out. Shout out to Yankee and the Brit because Zuel is almost fully done with a special drawing for them. So you guys will be able to see it probably in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be so sick and killer. And yeah, like I said, the hot sauce is going to be released here in May 24th is my birthday. I have a special limited edition package coming out with a drawing. I have my twin uncles working with me too. So it's Olin and Aztec Twin God. So that's going to be pretty fun. All my stuff related to both MMA, fighting, and my new series on my YouTube where it's going to come out where I interview all sorts of people. It's overall a fun time. Like I said, we help support each other. We grow, and the Yankee and the Brit is a huge reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, as well as everything else with Scrapyard, Overtime Hustling. It really gives me the drive. It gives me the focus, and it gives me the encouragement to be able to keep going. Because even when I'm down, I think about you guys and all the work that I know you guys put on the side, and there's no way I would let you guys down either. So thank you very much. And Zuel, glad to be a part of everything that you do. And Zuel-World for my website.
What's your YouTube?
My YouTube is 253 Buddy V, and so my Instagram is Zuel_Buddy V, so you can kind of see everything and as it unfolds.
Well, you guys, you stay tuned because Maddie and I will be coming with some draft stuff coming up real soon next week.
Jay, we have time to talk about football. How insane is this shit? We're both able to. Sorry, guys. You can tell I'm excited that my degree's starting to finish now, so I can actually talk about football again. I'm so fucking hyped.
Hey, I'm not going to lie, Maddie. You being busy actually freed me up to focus on these other podcasts, so it worked out perfect because trying to do all of this with that at once would have been very difficult, and it's the best time of year to kind of take a football break. But back to MMA Underground. Right now, we all know things can change in the world because people have lives. But next week, we got two guests for you. Derek Gates from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and everybody's favorite comedian from Street Beefs, the Canadian.
Yeah, two good-ass people. All right.
And Canadian, if you're watching, I'm going to call you out like Scrap Talk. We want 16 bars.
Yeah. I want those 16 bars.
Well, all right, guys.
Freestyle for a while, put some blood in a vial. I'll break your neck, my life's a wreck, and my method is hostile. Come on, see?
Oh, shit. Winkle. Oh. I would have to be the beatboxer because I can't rap. I'd be like,
yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.
Ciao.